500,000. 500,000 people. Hi, it's me again, and yet 500,000 is how many people stopped paying the licence fee last year. Big number. What a big number that is. So I thought we could talk about it a bit, because why? Why have they stopped paying it? Is it because of the many scandals that go through the BBC? A recent one, which I talked about yesterday on a video, and that video, I think, looking at it now, is about 120,000 views, which is more than all the news companies got on their reporting of it. So I'm quite proud of that. Thank you for watching that. Or is it because it's a ridiculous fee? Well, let's have a look at YouGov, because their polls are great. They probably asked 5 people for this. So let's have a look. This is the YouGov poll of how fair is the BBC licence fee. So the most recent one says here, 25th of March 24, the red line is very unfair. 45% of people who were asked said it's very unfair. Orange line, 19% say it's unfair. The blue line, what is that, 15%? They say it's neither, with fair all the way down there. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Very fair, fair, and neither are very small percentages. And yet the BBC are refusing, flat refusing, to take notice of this. If they don't, there's going to be more than 500,000 people cancel their licence fee this year, I can tell you. A total of 23.9 million households in Britain continued to pay the £169.50 licence fee, compared to 24.4 million in the previous year, according to the broadcaster's annual report. It's a bit of a dodgy number to try and come up with, though, because it could be the amount of people who cancelled their direct debits tied in with the amount of people that told them they didn't require a licence. Is it also including the amount of people like myself who just stopped paying it? Either a house is empty, someone's passed away, whatever, it's just stopped being paid. We're not getting all the information required, because that number could very well be bigger. We don't know, it could be more than 1 million, for all we know, if they're not including the people who just stopped paying it. We need more details from that, and the BBC aren't gonna cough it up. It says here it led to £80 million fall in year-on-year licence fee income. It's a big number, but is it a big number? Because it's over 4 billion with a B quid a year the licence fee brings in. 80 million is a drop in the ocean. If you think the BBC have any respect at all for £80 million, look how much the EastEnders set cost. In fact, I'll show you how much the EastEnders set cost. Rebuilding the EastEnders set at a cost of £87 million. And it was £27 million over budget. Now, I can't find the article at the minute, but around about the same time, I'm sure you've heard me say it before, Coronation Street had a new set. ITV bought Coronation Street a new set. Now, ITV, a commercial, they make their own money. You'd think they'd have more money to blow because they make their own. They wouldn't have to be as careful with their money as the BBC, because the BBC's using public money. It should be very careful with the money, right? So maybe £87 million was a bargain. No. The Coronation Street set cost a little over £10 million. Can they be? I don't work in television. Could they be that different? Or is it just the fact that the BBC have zero respect for your money? None at all. No respect whatsoever for your money. They just want as much of it as possible. The drop also raised questions about how many households felt they could do without BBC services. The report set out the weekly's BBC reach for different age groups and revealed younger viewers were more likely to watch YouTube or Netflix. Yeah, and yet the BBC states that, is it 9 out of 10 adults, or was it 9 out of 10 people in this country access BBC services on a weekly basis? I don't. The only time I've accessed BBC services any time recently was when I was Googling some weather for where I was going in Switzerland, and I accidentally clicked a BBC link on Google without looking. That was it. Under 16s rated the corporation third in their most used media brands, although 16 to 34-year-olds rated it second after YouTube. That's interesting. 16 to 34-year-olds rated BBC services most. Is that just... It's not saying the television's channels. They could mean podcasts, because they love a podcast. People commuting love a podcast. But the BBC have adverts on their podcasts. Now, making a bit of commercial money. Wrong. In its annual report, the corporation said its television, radio and online services were used by 85% of British adults, and said it continued to aim to offer greater value for all. So they've changed that number a bit. I swear in their last report it was 9 in 10, which is 90%, isn't it? So even they know they're falling. I don't know how they're getting away with it still. More and more people are catching on. But it's going to go up again. I've got a couple of articles here saying that Labour might put it up again, and Labour are securing it for 2027. So it's not going anywhere anytime soon. But as long as they're keeping it as it is, that's all right, because then we can choose not to pay it. I'm 10 years now, I haven't paid it for. 10 years. I don't watch or record anything that's been broadcast or access BBC iPlayer. I legally don't need one, and I don't need to tell them to do it. Have you cancelled yours? Are you one of the half a million that they say cancelled last year? Let me know in the comments below if you are. And also let me know why you chose to do it. Is it a cost of living crisis? Because 13 is a little over 13 quid a month now, isn't it? To some people's nothing. It's nothing at all. But to other people, it's school dinners, or it's a new pair of shoes for the kid, or it matters. You know, I've been there myself. It matters. So was it that caused you to cancel it, or was it just a political thing? You don't think the BBC deserve your money? Let me know. I'd be interested. I do read all the comments. I'll be interested to read the comments down below. And while you're down there leaving your comment, don't forget to hit all the buttons and everything as well. Hit the like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. I'm so close to 100,000. That'd be brilliant. Brilliant to get that. And if you do all of those things, hopefully I'll get to see you in another video again soon, won't I? Ta-da.